Hey guys, welcome to another session of FFBE Global News. So, maybe I should make these sessions like a different name. Maybe News Time with Papa Mog. It's an inside joke that we have on Discord. No, don't call me Papa Mog. Jagan, still fine. Jagan. We have Just Cause 3 banner coming. If you guys have been not living under a stone for the past 2 weeks, you would have known this is coming anyway, but here it is. Limited time, limited units, collab with Just Cause 3. Now we do know that Just Cause 4 is going to come, I think, next year, so I believe that this is actually a setup for a Just Cause 4 collab when 7-star meta is already present. So at the moment we are 6-star meta, and Gumi has confirmed that we are getting 7-star units, 7-star versions of these units. So it may not be a waste to pull for Rico Rodriguez, but basically yes, he is our 5-star base unit. So we're going like kind of backwards in time to collab with something that has already been out for more than a year. But here is our main and protagonist, Rico Rodriguez. So his job is hero. So if you have never played Just Cause 3, which I haven't, but I've looked at a lot of YouTube clips, reviews and whatnot just to get a sense of it, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. Just by looking at even the cover of Just Cause 3, you know that this is an action-packed game. It's an open world, it's a sandbox kind of game where you can destroy everything and you can experiment with different tools, weapons, rocket launchers, vehicles, and you just blow everything up. There's obviously a plot line to it. I think it's about some dictator or whatever, but it doesn't really matter because you can blow up everything, including civilians apparently. But again, I've never played it, so I really don't know what this is, what this game is like, except looking at the, at YouTube and videos. And to be honest, I'm not really that kind of gamer. Like, I mean, I used to be, but to me, I probably get bored within 15 minutes because it would be rinse and repeat kind of thing. But so, is it weird that Just Cause 3 comes to FFBE? I think a lot of our community was pretty salty about this. The announcement of this collaboration, just like, what the heck? It doesn't even fit in the Final Fantasy world. I would agree. But, it is what it is. So let's take it. Let's see what he has, right? So he has a Trustmaster reward, Protect Grappler G3. Sounds like a mouse. Sounds like a gaming mouse. Attack plus 40, enable heroic dodge and insurrection. Heroic dodge is chance of evading physical attack. So apparently we do have some data on this. Evading physical attacks is 25% evasion, which is as good as the Ring of the Lucii, which is Noctis's TMR. If you have not pulled Noctis and you want like evasion gear, everyone knows that 2 Ring of Lucii is the master at evasion. It gives you 50 evasion right away. So if you can get this, and because it's a raid, you're gonna most likely get the TMR if you farmed a raid properly. You'll most likely get the TMR for free if you pull Rico. So 25 evade is definitely worth investing in. I myself, I'll say right now, I'm gonna be pulling for 2, aiming for 2 for the 7-star, and I'll probably save the other 2 for STMRs in the future once Just Cause 4 collab comes. And then that way we have more data on it. I think it's kind of too early to invest in it completely. But we'll continue. Anyways, if chance to evade physical attack is 25%, like I said, but boost attack by 20 for Just Cause 3 units only. So there are 4 units in total. We're gonna get to them. So Rico is 1, so they can benefit from it. Chaos Object Homing is one of the featured abilities. We do have some data on this at the moment, but when Friday hits, when these units actually come, we're gonna get all the juicy details for every single unit. So I can only give you guys what I think right now, my opinions. Featured abilities, Chaos Homing Object is a 10 hit. I'm not quite sure about the frames right now. I think there's data on it, or people are rumoring on it, so I'm not quite sure what it perfectly chains with, but it's an AoE and is a 2.1 times damage modifier with a 50%. So ideally it's really 4.2. You can calculate it that way. Ignore 50% defense to all enemies. So AoE chaining might be really good. I mean, Onion Knight is our like master AoE chaining, magic AoE chaining, maybe like Ash. and Transterra, etc. But you know, for some physical AoE chaining would help you grind through story or anything really. So he might be good, and he has a lot in his kit that will kind of, I think, side him into maybe arena unit more than anything else. He has you could choose two enemies or 3 enemies. Yeah, choose 2 enemies, and you can inflict 60% stop for 3 turns to the chosen enemies. And you could choose 3 enemies and inflict paralyze 40%. And he has innate man-eater, he has innate machine killer, he has innate dual wield, which is awesome. MP 30%, attack 30%, defense 30% passives in his kit. He also has something that's really interesting. He has already increased physical evasion by 20%, which is, he's pretty much like a Noctis, but not of the FF world. He has the exact same evasion actually as Noctis. He also has something that's interesting. He can ignore fatal damage. 80% chance when the HP is above 10%. So you have 80% chance to survive some kind of like one-hit KO move. He also has this thing I find interesting called Take Cover, which recovers his HP and MP completely, 100%, and he also, it removes him from the battle for 2 turns, so it's kind of like hide. So it's called Take Cover. I think that is quite interesting. So as a unit himself, he's not like meta breaking, he's not meta changing. He has interesting things in his kit, but if I was pulling for him, I'd definitely pull for the TMR. One thing that I've noticed as an observation is that most units, when they're in a 6-star form and they're not like too game breaking, their 7-star form usually has more room to grow or more potential. So like even just off the bat in my head, CG Nicole and Leela are like kind of game breaking units. So CG Nicole performs as like almost like a 7-star buffer, maybe like a 6.5 star, and Leela performs like a 6.5 star to a 7-star hitter right now at the moment. But for most of you who know, their 7-star forms just don't really bring them, you know, much better. They don't make them much better, but we don't know what global might do. They might give them some exclusive stuff. So, you know, maybe I'm just, you know, talking for no reason right now. Second unit here, so we have our 4 to 6 star units. Mario Frigo. It's me, Mario. You guys probably cringed at that. So Frigo and etc. Okay, so Frigo and etc. is his TMR: boost attack, physical damage against machine monsters, and enable rebellion. So rebellion again is only for just cause 3 units. It restores MP and LB gauge each turn. I don't think we have any data on this right now, as in how much MP and how much LB it refills. Most likely it's probably just like a standard MP refresh and maybe 1 LB gauge per turn. But the attack against a boost physical attack and damage against machine monsters would be really good. I think the highest possible killer it had would be maybe 50% more damage to machine monsters, and if it is 50%, even the boost attack for like I'd say 20% would still be really good. We're hoping that this is even better, maybe a 30% attack and 50% machine monster, or maybe 30% attack, 25%. I don't know. Regardless, if you're not going to use this for your just cause 3 units, you're going to definitely go for the machine killer. Having more machine killers is going to be really nice, especially with some trials coming down the line. Everything else, I'm not quite sure what he does, but let's see here. We have Rebel Drop, Dionysus PLDS-H. Inflict damage and inflict random stats elements on 1 enemy. Rebel Drop, Magello Vestosa. I guess this is, what language would this be? Spanish or Portuguese? I don't know. Not quite sure. Damage and cast Dispel on all enemies. Ooh, that might be good. So cast Dispel on all enemies. Like a Dispel Go, I guess. That's pretty good. That's like Bushido Freedom. Perhaps you can target your own allies with it. Rebel Drop, Urga Spupka, 210. Damage and chance in confusing all enemies. Confusion's not that not that useful in my opinion. Maybe another arena unit, but you'll probably never use him for, I think, trials or whatnot. And then lastly, we have Annika Svensson. So Annika Svensson, job is mercenary, trust master, reward is distraction, boost HP by 20%, enable fire starter, which reduces fire resistance for one enemy. So it's an imperil. We don't know how much this imperils, but even if it's up to 50%, it might not be that good because it's only for one enemy. Maybe okay if you don't have someone that can imperil fire for 50%. And again, this is a guess. I'm not quite sure if it actually goes up as high as 50%. If it's higher, it's even better, but I don't think so. It's a 6-star trust master, so I don't think it would be that good. HP 20% is not terrible. So I mean, regardless, she is a 3-star base. So if you're pulling on this banner, you're gonna probably get 1, 2, maybe even 10 of her. But she's stuck at 5-star at the moment. Featured abilities, I've got this. Deal partial unmitigated damage and reduce fire resistance for all enemies. So yes, she likes the fire, man. She's a pyro. Don't know the details on it. Finders Keepers, boost drop rate of items from enemies, and Mercenaries Cut, boost skill obtained from defeating enemies. So she's really kind of like Lara Croft in that sense, I guess. Perhaps you might find her useful in some scenarios during story events when you're grinding crysts. Perhaps. Anyways, that's kind of the details on it. Again, they're not super exciting, and people won't be too excited about their sprite either. Rico does look like Action Man. If you guys have ever watched that show called Action Man, the theme song really just repeats his name, Action Man. And I think his name is Action Man in the show. Anyways, yes, that's it for this featured summon. Most of our collaborations have been raid events, and we do get it here. Just Cause 3, the son of Medici? Don't know. It's a helicopter. So yeah, so you got a typical stuff. So raid orbs, you get 5 orbs until they change it. You get 5 orbs, fills one every hour from the last time you started your raids. And you can collect the raid coins to trade for a lot of rewards, a lot of items, and also you can get to wait, let me see here. Let me scroll down first, because you can get one limited unit, this guy, right? You can get him, and he's not that good, but he has gun mastery apparently, some kind of gun mastery. But because he's a free unit, it might not be that good. It might not even be worth using on your gun users. But I think some people are excited. You can craft material, limited equipment. If you're new, again, craft limited equipment while you're grinding the raid and you're pulling your raid coins. You get materials. This limited equipment is actually pretty decent this time, guys. Even for some older players, this is pretty good. So Rico's wingsuit. So in Just Cause 3, you can fly around in a wingsuit with Rico. So if you drop from a plane, drop from a building, you can pretty much glide. If you've played the Batman Arkham Knight series or Batman Arkham, the Arkham series, you know that Batman can glide and he can grapple and then kind of continue gliding. Basically, Rico can do that in the game. So this is Rico's wingsuit, right? Helps him glide. Defensive spirit plus 20%. That's pretty decent. This is an accessory too. This is 20%, guys. Wind resistance plus 30% and enable agility. So caster can dodge some physical attacks once after a battle begins or after being revived. So every time the unit is reset, all right, I'm doing air quotes, but you can't see it. Every time he's reset, he has this be able to dodge. I wonder how many turns that lasts. Maybe for 1 turn, I guess. Not quite sure, but just the defense and spirit plus 20%, wind resistance 30% is already impressive. So that might be really nice to have. I'm pretty sure you can only craft it once. So there are some equipment you can craft once, and some you can craft multiple times, as much material as you have. Rico's combat gloves. So even though they look like leather gloves, somehow they bring you some earth elements. So 90 attack earth elemental is really good. We are lacking some nice earth equipment, and Rico can dual wield. Well, he has a gun and fist mastery, so most likely you might run a fist with him And if you have 2 Ricos, you can easily craft 2 of these gloves, and you have a really good AoE elemental chainer, at least for a while. Again, I don't know how strong he can get, so maybe he not be useful for really high end trials, but still very useful. Earth elemental fist, 90 attack. GE 64 looks like a bomb, but it's a throwing weapon, so attack plus 30, magic plus 70, and a fire elemental. Now I was looking at what are some throwing weapons with high magic, because apparently a 7-star ace has throwing weapon mastery, and I think it increases his magic with throwing weapons equipped. So this might be good to keep. I'm not quite sure off the top of my head if there's other throwing weapons that have really high magic, but 70 sounds really high to me. It is fire elemental, so perhaps you can have this throwing weapon on someone that can use throwing weapons, and most likely a hybrid unit. But it's stuck to fire elemental. I'm not quite sure who else could use it, but regardless, all this stuff is good to have. You're gonna run into trials where you're just like, oh man, I wish I crafted that. Now is your chance. Other limited equipment, CS Wraith, I believe that's pronounced Wraith, 225R. Some more guns. Again, I don't have any stats on them. I'm gonna assume they're not that good. Maximum, you're probably not gonna reach 100 attack. I think the 6-star one, CS Wraith, is probably going to be, I think, 90 attack, and everything else is probably gonna drop a bit more. I think UVK-13 might be a two-handed weapon too, because it looks like a rocket launcher. Again, it is my speculation. So yes, when Friday hits, man, let's all work together, grind the raid. And the more you grind the raid, the higher level the boss is, and the higher the drop. So everybody gets benefits. Now, the raid pulls, you can get all this stuff. So you get various rewards. You see the sparkling tickets there? That is the goal, you guys. So make sure you grind it. There's a low chance to receive some rare summon tickets, even a 4-star ticket, which I did pull. I think I got 1 in the last raid. Even pulling 700,000 raid coins. 700,000 raid coins, I got 1 ticket. I know there are some of you who probably got more lucky, but that was my luck. Hopefully, again, if we grind this together, guys, there's higher chance to get tickets. Everybody wins. All right. So yes. Oh yeah. Here's the raid summon. This is what I was looking for. So Tio, just cause 3-star to 5-star base unit. He is free. This is what we're talking about. Trust Master Reward gun upgrade. Boost attack and spirit when equipped with a gun. It's a 6-star. I'm pretty sure it's going to be stuck at 20-20. 20%. So 20% attack, 20% spirit when equipped with a gun. His featured ability is Invader. He has boost physical damage against machine monster for 3 turns to 1 ally. Ooh, that's interesting. So he can make someone have machine killer for 3 turns. That is really good. If he has some good survivability, maybe you can actually have him for some machine trials, because you can stack machine killer on your unit, or even if they have passive machine killer like A2 and 2B, if you were fortunate enough to pull on the Nier Automata banner. And I just thought of one of my Discord members, Kyle. He pulled a lot on that banner. He didn't get them, so ouch. Ouch. But yes, anyone who has machine killer, and you maybe slap on what we had in a Dragon Quest event, killing machines TMR, which has a sword that has machine killer, and then you can get Edgar's TMR. Edgar's TMR has machine killer. Oh man, this is gonna be really fun. So actually boosting machine killer to someone is probably better than almost any buff you can think of. Maybe even more damage than CG Nicole's LB buff, 134% boost in attack. It might actually be better. So actually it's interesting. Definitely something to look at when I get him, because he is free. You definitely look at if he has any survivability or other supportive aspects. Maybe I run him in the team. That's interesting. Anyways, yeah, that's Tio. I actually wish that he was part of the main banner. I like his sprite. It's really cool. Like, don't mess with me, fool. Alright guys, new trials are dropping. A new quest awaits. So we have in Tengger. So in JP, he was called in Tengger Ultimate. He is pretty hard. I think if you have a physical evade unit, like a tank, I think he just needs a single target. And he does like AoE Meteor, AoE Magic? I don't remember. If you watch my YouTube videos, I did challenge him on JP. And I used one of my mods, his Sighart, Mortrix. I used Mortrix's CG Sighart to make it really easy. He can be charmed, so I know that for sure. Haha. If you watch that video, you'll know why that's funny to me. But he is pretty powerful. He does a lot of status ailments as well, so you gotta be careful. So here's some information for you. Kupo. So attack and magic reductions are effective. You want to keep him broken. No matter what, you want to break him. He also buffs himself, but on the turns he buffs himself. Okay, this is off memory, guys. All right, so don't take my word for it completely. You guys will have more information than I do probably by today. But he buffs himself. On the turns he buffs himself, it's a free turn, but make sure you dispel him because his buffs are insane. All right, defense and spirit reductions are ineffective, Kupo, so expect a decently long battle if you don't have really good equipment, really good units with killers. I definitely recommend someone with beast killer innate, and then slap on more beast killer with Ifrit 3-star if you've gotten him. It will make this battle a lot easier. I think I'm gonna go with probably 2 Tidus as my main DPS. Let's see here, completion rewards. You get 100 lapis. This is our clear reward. You get enhancer plus, and in JP again known as enhancer Kai. You get 106 attack, magic plus 23, and then 20% HP. Oh wait, what? 20% HP plus 10%? Or is it mag plus 20%? I'm not quite sure. The writing here seems kind of odd. Maybe magic plus 20%. Ooh, that'd be really good. So maybe this is a good sword for your hybrid damage dealer. Maybe. But always good to have. Again, 106 is no small joke for a sword. That's pretty strong. So here is the completion reward. So use 3 or more limit bursts. If you're taking him down the regular way, there should be no problems doing this mission. So consider that like an instant get if you can defeat Tengger. Evoke an Esper, you get a rare summon ticket, and defeat Tengger with a limit burst. So Lion's Awakening. This is really nice. A lot of people use this in the JP arena. So expect people to also use this in regular arena. So boost magic by 30%. Add a chance of activating Meteor when receiving a physical attack. So Meteor does partial unmitigated magic damage to all enemies. I've not seen it fail doing 999 damage if this is on a mage. So if you're using this in arena, it's going to be annoying because the animation takes quite long, but it would be good for you as well. And another quest. This is part of our regular trial. So Tengger was in the trial of the Indignant. Alright, and this is in our regular trial, so the Iron Giant. So it says deflect abnormal attacks and defeat the Raging Metal Armor. Right, so apparently he has a lot of defense, but really low spirit, so consider going with a magic team. Strengthen your guard, or you might not return Kupo. Alright, that's a hint. He does really strong AoE and single target physical attacks. I mean, look at him, man. He's jacked, man. He's jacked. Pretty crazy. So you'll be very fortunate again if you run another evade tank. So again, if you don't have an evade tank, again you can borrow a friend's. But then we do also have this convenient banner. It's almost like Gumi had planned this out a really long time ago. We have this very convenient banner with Rico. Free TMRs, and it gives you 25% evasion per accessory. I'm pretty sure it stacks as well, just like the Ring of Lucii, and maybe you only have 1 Ring of Lucii, get 1 Rico, and then you have a really good evade unit. Pretty sure you can get 100% evade. I'm pretty sure after this week, most people will have an 100% evade unit ready, alright? But I would definitely recommend, I think Mortrix was cracking the numbers for me. He was giving me the details. He was saying like, even if you break him, I'm not sure if he can be broken actually. If you did even break him and had damage mitigation, he would still have like so much attack that he would still wipe the floor. He would still wipe the floor with your team. So I don't know if that's gonna be something you want to go for. Maybe just go full evade. All right, full evasion. Magic attacks are particularly effective. So yes, so spirit is probably lower than defense. You should guard against status ailments. So careful of status ailments. I don't think he does a lot other than paralyze, as I recall. But again, I might be wrong. This guy is one of the strongest you've ever faced, Kupo. I think he might be more straightforward than Malboro still. So Malboro is still one of the hardest trials even to date, just because of all that he does. You have to take care of so many styles of play during that trial. This I think is a little bit more straightforward. But yes, so Iron Colossus is going to be awesome. Finally a heavy armor that gives us 15 attack. So Demon Male can sit on the side unless you're using it for the Dark Elemental resistance. But yes, 56 defense to boot as well. So this is a really good one. Definitely take him down ASAP. Initial clear quest, 100 lapis of course. No item, so I don't expect myself to ever use items. So this is an easy one for me as well. 10% trust Moogle. Heavy armor arts, so boost HP and defense when equipped with heavy armor. I do believe it's 30% defense, but I'm not quite sure about the HP. Because it's a 6-star ability, I don't believe it's a 30% HP, 30% defense. That'd be too broken. I'm gonna guess it's about 10% HP, 30% defense though. I think. And then evoke an Esper, so make sure you evoke that Esper. Calamity Border, boost defense, spirit, and also fire, ice, lightning, water, wind, earth, light, and dark resistance for all allies. So it's okay. I remember, I think it's a 30% all boost all elements. I think it's either 20 or 30%. It's not super high, but it's still really good. And if you need to fit someone with an elemental buff in your team and you don't have like a green mage or something like that, or even CG Nicole, maybe this is a good thing to slap on. All around, this trial has really good rewards. Again, highly recommend it if you can take them on. But yes, good luck you guys. And we have part 2 of our story event. So how JP has been doing it is that on the second week we usually get these extra stages here. So 8 extra stages that actually goes to the bottom of the story event map. So it'll open up on Friday whenever this event releases, and then you can actually grind specific crysts, which I really appreciate. It's 60 energy and three I guess 3, how do you even call them, 3 points, I guess. So 20 energy each point, and then which has like 4 to 5 battles each. It's way quicker to grind, it's way more efficient, it's less energy cost. Just make sure you have your Raven's Cape or someone who has a rare drop rate increase, and you'll get your like Giant Chris and whatnot. So yes, make sure you do that. But there is something else here that could be missed if you don't read. A new highly difficult area extra stage will be available. Now they don't show it here, so apparently this is supposed to be where it is. So I'm not quite sure if they have some problems with this, because if they show this image, this separate ways, total energy 85, you're not really getting the full picture. But if you play JP or watch people who have played JP, or even my own videos, you would see that there is a new like stage. It's a 90 energy stage, only one, okay, only one. We usually have 2 extra stages that cost 90 energy, but now they're gonna change from here on out. I believe they're gonna change it to how JP does it. Every story event is a trial like highly difficult area, this extra stage. It will have a vortex. It will have a vortex icon that you can click on, and when you click on it, there's 3 battles, and you're gonna face 3 bosses. Now, again, I'm not quite sure if they're gonna implement it in this story event specifically, but usually there's like a 10% trust Moogle per battle, and there's like tickets and pots, like king size pots, I think. If it's like JP, what I'm experiencing, these are, you gotta face them like trials. So be prepared. Depending on what they do, if you're going in this blind and you have no information on it, prepare yourself with a magic tank, a physical cover, with provoke, just in case. Like someone like Warrior of Light might be really good with full evasion if you can. Maybe elemental chainers, definitely a healer, and definitely the healer or the magic tank, and tanks plural has status ailment protection. All right, that is kind of like the stuff, like, but each story event will be different. So my setup is kind of like a very general setup, but expect some difficult trials ahead. I have no idea what this is like. I've never played this story event on JP, so I have no idea, but that is all the information I can give you. Hopefully that is helpful. And that is it for this segment of the news with Papa Mog. All right. No, again, don't call me Papa Mog. All right. So, what do you guys think, huh? Feature summon. Are you gonna be pulling for this? I assume that after everyone's complaint for the past 2 weeks, by now everybody should be on the bandwagon and most likely will be pulling for it. However, I do know that a lot of you guys have pulled really hard on the past 2 banners for Rydia and most likely CG Nicole. Perhaps if you're not fortunate enough, you don't have enough resource to put pulling on this one, you're just like, oh man, what did I miss? I just missed, you know, my full evasion unit. Try it, guys. Try your dailies. Get as much, you know, grind the raid. You actually get tickets within it itself. And then you complete these trials that are released. Maybe you get more tickets. Hopefully you guys get lucky and pull a Rico or 2. Again, like I said, I plan to pull 2 Ricos, so he's ready for a 7-star, and then I'll wait for the news to drop on a Just Cause 4 collab before I even consider an STMR. So 4 Ricos. Now we don't know what the banner will look like. A lot of people are assuming that, hey man, maybe they're gonna start going to step up banners. I'm not quite sure. I mean, Sephiroth and Leela was our first step up banner. Cloud and Alfreda banner came back with a step up version, which was completely new, and it got everyone hyped. It's like, oh man, are all banners gonna be step ups? I don't know. I don't think Just Cause will have a step up banner, but I really hope that they do. Because step ups are best bang for buck. If you have the lapis to pull for it, step ups are the best bang for buck. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you want to have a conversation, definitely let me know what you think of this collab. You know, I totally understand it if you're salty about it still. You know, I'm just gonna accept it as it is. I'm going for the TMRs mainly, not for the units, and I'm not a collector. Most of you guys know that I'm purely functional, so all of my units have to be like, oh, what's this TMR do? Oh, what is his abilities? How does this add to my team chemistry? That is pretty much it. Yeah, so anyways, thank you guys for watching this segment of the news. And if you have Discord, check out the Discord server where you can continue the conversation live with me and tons of guys who are passionate about FFBE. Follow me on Twitter if you have Twitter, and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.